I'm Allendale's chief meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your midday weather update. As we take a look at the latest setup here, the surface analysis across the country shows a cool front that's just now starting to eject out of the northern plains, trying to work into the upper Midwest. The low pressure that's spawning this front is all the way up in extreme east-central Manitoba, moving into west-central parts of Ontario. At this current track and the way things are looking, this low is going to continue to pull east and maybe even a bit north. That means the main body low, the strong low, will not work anywhere close to us. And I actually think this is going to be what allows the cool front to start to fall apart a little bit. Yeah, you're going to see some action trying to shift into Minnesota, but precipitation is not a big part of this front. As a matter of fact, what few scattered showers and thunderstorms that we had around in North Dakota have fallen apart. We see a few radar echoes down in South Dakota, but even those are not overly impressive. So we continue to think this is going to be a non-issue. We've got plenty of warm air surging in over the rest of the Corn Belt. High pressure sitting right on the Mason-Dixon line, eastern parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. We have seen a few radar echoes starting to fire off in parts of south-central Illinois. We have a few more in southern parts of Ohio. This, to me, is indicative of the very warm, humid air mass that we've got surging over most of the Corn Belt. It's going to be a scenario that plays out much like what we saw yesterday. You're going to have hit-and-miss thunderstorms here, there, at any given point in time, and this will be from today right on through probably this coming Saturday. Coverage on any given day won't be any more than maybe 10 to 15% of the Corn Belt on the whole. Amounts are not going to be overly impressive, but it's also the kind of setup that if we sit here and try and say that any certain place isn't going to get it, that'd be kind of ridiculous as well. There's a chance pretty much everywhere. That's because we have temperatures above normal for a change and very high dew points across the nation's midsection. Our next good front still is not going to be working in anytime soon. It's on track to come into the upper Midwest, likely as we go into the holiday weekend, Saturday into Sunday, and then try and drift southeast. Initially, as it works into northern parts of Minnesota, there's no real significant movement to it. It seems to want to pick up speed late Sunday and then go through Monday and into early Tuesday. Looks like that'll be the key time frame for a good chunk of the Corn Belt. I think rains out of this can be anywhere from a half to an inch and a quarter. The front moves fairly quickly once it decides to move, and the difference in air mass is enough that I think there could be some good moisture coming out of it. So I'm going to put coverage right now about 80%. We'll follow that up with temperatures back closer to normal for this time of year, so the above normal temperatures will be gone, but we're not cooling off in a big way. And then as we go on toward the 11th, 12th, 13th, and some models are even saying the 12th through the 14th, we're going to be seeing another front come through. This one does have some significantly cooler air in it, and the way it moves through is more gradual. North to south, just kind of sagging southward across the country, and it will bring a nice batch of precipitation. Rainfall totals could be upwards of 1.5 inches before all is said and done. Now, behind that, we should see temperatures fall off quite nicely. I'm actually expecting right around mid-month for us to spend a day or two at or below normal, and then we should bounce back. And my forward look at the rest of the month of September would indicate that we're probably going to be mostly near normal. That means for the month, we would likely average out to be near to slightly above. If we are slightly above for the month, it would be because of the way we start things off here the rest of this week. Otherwise, no major issues if you're looking out in the middle of the country for wheat areas. Moving into the month of September, early October, these are times when we're thinking about getting some winter wheat planted. Have some rains that'll be moving through there as well. I really like that system for the 11th, 12th, 13th out in hard red winter wheat country. Might be exactly the kind of moisture that they would need before heading to the field to plant. So we'll watch that very, very closely. Farther north, northern plains areas, going to get some wheat here or get some moisture here off and on. And we also need to pay attention to the Canadian prairies. Picked up big rains over the weekend, didn't necessarily need them as harvest is getting underway, and I see a monster event moving through Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Western Ontario as we go from this weekend on through the first part of next week. I'm now going to extend that from probably Saturday afternoon all the way through Tuesday afternoon. That could be a big story unfolding up there. That's the way things are stacking up. Have a great rest of your day. If you got any questions on the weather, give us a call at Allendale. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.